I want to give you guys my thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals going into this season. This was a team that overachieved relative to expectations year one under Jonathan Gannon. You know, they had an upset over the Dallas Cowboys, which was pretty big, and they were winning a good amount of games, or they were competitive in a good amount of games when they had Joshua Dobbs at quarterback. But when Kyler Murray came back and he was fully healthy, this offense was completely different with him back in the fold. And this year, if Arizona is going to look to make a playoff run, you're going to need Kyler Murray to go in his closet and put on that Superman cape, because he's going to have to play at an elite level if Arizona wants to have a shot at being able to not only be competitive in the NFC West, but to also have an outside shot of maybe locking up that 7th or 6th seed in the NFC, because Kyler Murray has a great group of wide receivers. You're going to be throwing the Marvin Harrison Jr., and there's a couple of other guys on that roster that I really like a lot. And you have a capable running back core. You got Trey Benson, a rookie that you drafted in this past year's draft. You got James Conner, who's been one of the NFL's most productive backs over the last couple of years. And Kyler Murray, to me, has went from overrated to quietly becoming underrated. If he ends up having a high-level productive season for Arizona, I think that this could be an 8, potentially 9-win team, because Arizona, to win games this year, they're going to have to outscore everybody because their defense looks absolutely terrible. I mean, I have concerns about their pass rush. Their linebacker unit, according to Pro Football Focus, was graded as one of the worst in the NFL. Their secondary, I got a challenge for you guys. Name me 2 Arizona players in that secondary, not named Budda Baker being one of them. You probably can't. This defense is not going to be that good this year. And Arizona, for them to be able to win, they got to outscore pretty much everybody they play, which they have the ability to do if Kyler Murray turns into Superman this year. If he ends up playing at a Pro Bowl caliber level and he picks up from where he left off last year, Arizona with Marvin Harrison Jr., you got that really good tight end. What's his name? Trey McBride, I believe his name is. You know, you got some pretty good weapons on this offense. But he's going to be running around for his life this season. That offensive line, outside of Paris Johnson, is a huge concern. I mean, you signed Jonah Williams in free agency to play right tackle for you. Did you not see how bad he was for the Cincinnati Bengals? I mean, for crying out loud, Arizona. There were so many other right tackles that you could have gotten in free agency and in the NFL draft, and you choose to settle with Jonah Williams? I mean, come on. I love Arizona's offense this year. I think that they got a pretty good offensive coordinator as well, and they should easily be able to score at least 24 plus in the majority of games that they play in. But their defense, you know, could be bad enough where they're dropping 28 a game on them if you're the opposing offense. And I don't have a lot of faith in Jonathan Gannon as a defensive-minded head coach. As a matter of fact, I don't even look at him as a defensive-minded head coach. I look at Jonathan Gannon as a good motivator. You know, he's somebody that players like, they respect, they play hard for him. But defensively, I didn't really see too much out of Arizona last year that had me that impressed. But this was a team that was able to win games that they had no business being able to win. And they were competitive in a lot of their contests. So if Kyler Murray can end up playing like Superman this year, this could be a playoff team. But if you don't get high-level quarterback play out of him, you're going to be hard-pressed to find too many wins on Arizona's schedule, because that division is going to be absolutely brutal with the arrival of Mike McDonald, and Seattle's going to have a great defense this year. And their offense should be good enough to get the job done. So if you're Arizona, you could have some really ugly losses if your offense doesn't show up in a lot of your games. I think this is going to be an offensive-centric team, and when their offense doesn't produce, oftentimes it's going to result in them taking L's.